Face have it ass. What's going on, you guys? It's Eric Peoples back here again via the Sean Harris page. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you're having a wonderful summer. I know I haven't seen you guys in a minute, and things have been changing for me. I have a new job. Various things in life, and getting these videos out is time consuming, and it takes a lot of energy. And for you guys who have stuck around, because I haven't really checked on the page. I be on YouTube, but I really haven't checked on the page. I appreciate you, and I hope that you enjoy this video or understand what I'm about to talk about in this video. Yeah, so the thing is, I ran across a meme on Facebook, and it was basically saying, what if Superman went to the Dragon Ball universe, and what if Goku went to the DC universe? Now, most Dragon Ball fans, or most anime fans in general, they're really, really passionate, would say, listen, it can never work. There could never be a story conceived. It could possibly happen. And if you're looking at it from that standpoint because you're strictly an anime fan, then yeah, you're losing out on so much fun and the ideas that could go behind it. I'm a fan of comic books and anime. And it's fun when you could actually enjoy both. There's nothing wrong with that. Even though I'm more of a DC guy than I am Marvel, and I will argue you up and down about that. So I kind of understand. But so what that got me doing is got the creative juices flowing, and then a lot of my spare time I would just started writing down ideas and things of that nature. And next thing you know, I came up with this concept. So this will probably be a two-part video because I do have to do a little explaining for those who don't understand or don't know these characters. There's two central characters to start the story off. It'll be the Ami King from Dragon Ball, who is basically the king of everything. He's the god of everything. His character's still being flushed out, but as I was writing, based off of what I knew about him from Dragon Ball Super, the more and more I wrote, the more and more I'm seeing that is his character. And the other character that I'm using is actually Dr. Manhattan. Now, I know a lot of you guys who are comic book people are like, hold on, how are you using Dr. Manhattan? He's not really included into the DC universe yet. As you guys know, if you're following, the Button and the Rebirth comics have been hinting that the Watchmen or Dr. Manhattan in particular, is being used now. They're bringing them into the full DC spectrum. So yeah, I can use that. So first of all, you got to understand these characters. A lot isn't being said about the Omni King. All we know is he's above Beerus the Destroyer. He's above Whis and the Angels. He is the upper echelon of the Dragon Ball universe. That everybody fears him except for Goku, of course, because he doesn't have any sense. He could basically obliterate a whole existence just waving his hand, and you no longer exist anymore. That alone is just crazy. He doesn't have to power up or have to be able to lift the whole galaxy on his shoulders in order to show his true power. He just snap his fingers and you don't exist anymore. That's true power. The word God is thrown around in modern days a whole lot. And I don't think that people understand the true nature of what a god is. And I kind of tap into that with the story. So yeah, I'm using him. And I'm also using a character named Dr. Manhattan. Now, Dr. Manhattan, if you've read the Watchmen books or if you watched the Zack Snyder movie, which I heavily suggest that you do either, because it's a pretty cool story. Dr. Manhattan was a guy who got caught up in an experiment, and his body was vaporized, basically. He became pure energy, and he was able to reconstitute himself, but he didn't come back in a fleshly form. He was just blue, like this blue aura around him. And basically, Dr. Manhattan can teleport in an instance. He can multiply himself. He can basically do like Full Metal Alchemist. Like he's the ultimate alchemist. He doesn't have to make the transmutation circle. You know what I'm saying? He could break you down on a cellular level and things of that nature. He could create life. I mean, it's bananas what he could do. He's so OP. Personally, I don't see how Superman could even stand up a fight against him. But so yeah, I'm using those two characters. That's a brief rundown of what both are, where they come from, and yeah, that's what I'm using. And the story more or less takes place. The first half of it, it takes place with Doctor Manhattan's thoughts, and Doctor Manhattan is thinking, I've been to the beginning of time to the end of time, because remember at the end of Watchmen he left Earth. He's seen life grow. He's seen life be destroyed. It's this real romantic poem about what is the meaning of life. And I think that Dr. Manhattan has come to the point where he's like, I've seen everything that life has to offer. So I wonder what's on the other side of that. And he's just falling through existence, falling through time and space until he's pulled out by some sort of force. And that force is the Omni King. And the Omni King is very childlike, where Dr. Manhattan is very stern. And like I said, he's lost a lot of his humanity, so he's more of a robot, almost in a sense. And the Omni King was like, hello, my name is Zemo and Zenho. And, you looked bored. You know what I'm saying? And Dr. Manhattan is like, where the hell am I? And so Dr. Manhattan is met by one of the Omni King's guards, and they more or less exchange a dance. And he's more or less fascinated by the elemental properties of this new world. That's what not Zemo. I keep calling him Zemo. That is what Dr. Manhattan is fascinated about. He's like, whoa, wait a minute, I've never seen anything like this before. Whoa, I am tingling right now. And the Omni King is more or less like, yeah, what's good, let's play around, let's have some fun. And he's like, why would I want to play? What? He was like, what is this world? And so he explains that I'm the Omni King and I am the god of everything. And Manhattan is more like, yeah, I've heard the term God mentioned a whole lot. Basically, try that again. So Zemo was like, oh, let me show you. So he begins to wind his hands together and he creates a mini universe within his hands, and then he destroys it. Dr. Manhattan steps back and is like, yeah, you understand what it means to be a divine entity. A divine entity is both a creator and destroyer, all in the same respect, because they understand the element of once something grows, everything that has a beginning has an end, and ultimately it begins again. So he understands that. So he says, I peeped that. I see your game, son. He was like, where am I? Why did you pull me here? And the Omni King says, because you look bored. So I decided to pull you out. And so they exchange some pleasantries or whatnot. And basically, he says, we can have some fun. You seem to be a pretty powerful guy, and I'm bored just sitting here all the time. And Dr. Manhattan is more or less like, I want to go out and I want to study this universe. I have never seen anything like this. The physics here, the quantum mechanics here is unbelievable. And the Omni King is ultimately like, I haven't been this interested in nobody since Goku. So, whatever you want to do, baby. And he was, Manhattan is like, who's a Goku? And then he goes down and gives him a rundown of who Goku is. He shows him in this little orb. If you can imagine, I know you anime fans can. Who Goku is, a lot of his feats, that he's a Saiyan who was sent to Earth and so forth and so on. And so Manhattan is like, In none of my travels throughout the multiverse have I ever came across a character like this. And I'm going to leave it right there. Stay tuned for part 2.